Hi everybody. I thought I'd make this short video on course logistics for intermediate Physics 1 support so that those of you that missed yesterday's class, and there were quite a few, don't worry if you missed it the first day, I'm not going to cancel your registration or anything. I understand that in today's kind of weird, unprecedented times that it's tough keeping up with what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to be places. So here we go. All right, so just so you know, I'm Dr. Tanya Coffey. You've probably already seen me in some lectures for 2010, I hope, that you've been keeping up with those, but that's me. Hi. 3530, the support class, meets once a week in Garwood Hall, room 150, face-to-face. Since we're a hybrid, you're going to alternate every other week in your face-to-face coming. Of course, face-to-face attendance isn't required. You can come virtually instead, but be aware that it is a synchronous class, okay? There's no real requirements for the support class. I really just wanted it to be a supplement, a help to you for Physics 2010. So I don't want to add any additional work or requirements for the support class. But what that means is that in order to issue you some kind of grade, then I do have to at least take attendance, okay? So I'm going to take attendance. Like I said, it doesn't have to be face-to-face attendance. You can attend the Zoom sessions. If you feel like you never want to come to campus, please don't come, okay? But I do need you to be there virtually if you're not there in person on your assigned day. Now, regarding your assigned day, if you're the kind of person that would rather come face-to-face, then remember that what we're going to do is we're going to alternate weeks. I've divided you into two groups alphabetically by last name. Group 1 is last names Aaron through Hayes, and Group 2 is Hedrick through Windland. Okay? Now, on this top block of our course website, which is down here, there's a schedule for face-to-face meetings. If you click on that, then it tells you what week it is or what day for the various face-to-face meetings and whether Group 1 or Group 2 is supposed to be there. Okay, so the schedule is up now in that top block, and you can check it any time if you'd like to come face-to-face. If you'd like to attend virtually, all you have to do is click on this link right here in our top block, Physics 3530 class meeting room. That will take you to the Zoom room where we're going to be having class. And so that's on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, okay? Up to, but not including the week of Thanksgiving, because that's our last week of classes for this semester. All right? I have office hours every day at 3 o'clock, and then I also have office hours on Friday from 10 to 11. If you're coming to my office hours, then you use the Dr. Coffey's personal Zoom room link, and that'll take you to my personal Zoom room. It's not the same as our class meeting room. The Zoom room for the class is different, and that's there. The Zoom room for our class is the same as the Zoom room for Physics 2010. So there is a password for that Zoom room, and the password is 2010-101. Okay? I'm going to use viewing this video and taking a quiz that I will post that is associated with this sort of getting to know you syllabus video. I'm going to post that, and you can use the quiz to substitute for an attendance point for your first day. Be aware that since attendance is your only grade, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a threshold of 75% or so attendance, and yet again, that's virtual attendance. You don't have to come in person. But it does count for every single week, not just your assigned week. So every single week, you either have to be there face-to-face, which is not required, or virtually. If you come to 75% of those meetings, then you'll get a satisfactory grade. And if you don't make it, you won't. Okay, so it's an SU grading system, I think. I'm going to double check on that, but if it's not, I'm going to change it to an SU if I can. And so that's going to be, just basically pass-fail. If you make it to 75% of the meetings, okay, the virtual meetings, that's every meeting and not just the one for your assigned face-to-face week. All right? Okay. I hope that's straightforward. Other than that, if you want to click and look at the syllabus, it basically contains everything that I just said, okay, all written down, okay, and yeah, that's that. It's got all the required syllabi statements on it too. I'd also like to add that if you're having issues with food insecurity, we have a food pantry here in the second floor, and there's also food pantries on campus. So feel free to avail yourself of those resources. If you'd like to make a comment or have something to say about the food pantry, it needs to be restocked or opened or anything like that, you can either let my husband, Dr. Chris Baxton, know. He's the one that's in charge of the food pantry, or our department chair, Jennifer Burris, and she'll be happy to help you out with that. I am the Inclusive Excellence Liaison for our department. If you would like to know a little bit more about Inclusive Excellence, then I have some links there that you can access. And if you're having any issues or problems, feel free to let me know. If you don't feel comfortable talking to me, you can talk to Dr. Burris, and she's always happy to meet with students to hear about any issues that they might be having. So do take advantage of those resources. We also have a Student Inclusive Excellence Club in the department, if you didn't know about that. Let me pull that website up for you in case you're interested. Let's go here. It's off of our main physics webpage. So that's just physics.upstate.edu. And you can go here to Student Resources. It's being a little slow for me. Yeah, there we go. And if you scroll down, you can read about some clubs and student groups here, and it's on the list. Okay, so you can hear more about that. If you're interested in joining, just let me know, and I can get you some names of the students that are in that club right now and who to contact. If you have any further questions about the course or concerns or issues, you let me know. Now, that's the logistics. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing in our course meetings. So in the Zoom sessions and in the face-to-face, okay, we're going to be split I'm going to have to split my attention between the people that are in the room and the people that are on the Zoom chat. So one thing I'd like to request is that since it is kind of harrowing teaching in that kind of environment where you're trying to make good eye contact with the people in front of you and also interface with people on a Zoom session, it's really helpful if you actually talk. Instead of expecting me to be able to split my attention and look at a chat too. Sometimes I can navigate that, but sometimes I can't. If you don't feel comfortable voicing the question aloud, maybe you could at least refer me to the chat or say, hey, Dr. Coffey, I posted something in the chat. Can you look at it? And then I'll look at it. But you might need to speak up instead of just chatting, because it really is quite tough, honestly, to split and divide my attention amongst all the devices and different directions that I have to look in that classroom. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Now, if it's just a Zoom session, I can keep up with the chat, no problem. But with people in front of me and a Zoom session going on, my attention gets divided and it's kind of hard. So I would ask that during the classes, when you have a question or a comment, you do just unmute yourself and speak up, and then that'll help me out. Now, it does help if you're on the Zoom sessions if when you're not speaking up, you do keep yourself muted. And that way, if your dog barks or your cat meows or your kid wants to be fed and comes into the room, something like that, then, that doesn't get broadcast to the whole classroom. So I understand having things muted is fine. All right? I don't care if you have your web camera on, a black screen is okay, but it is kind of nice if you have a picture. So that I get to know you a little bit. I feel like I'm just kind of staring at a black screen sometimes. So if you want to post a picture, even if it's just a funny picture of your dog or something, great. I'd love that. Okay. What we're going to be doing in each face-to-face class meeting and each Zoom session meeting is we're just going to be talking about problems and issues that you might be having with your homework. I don't want to spend that time lecturing you again. I'd really rather help you. So if you don't have specific questions or if you haven't gotten to the homework yet, so I'll always open the floor in those face-to-face meetings by saying, does anybody have a question? And please let me know if you do. I really want to know because it helps guide the discussion. It's not always intuitive to me what people don't understand. Sometimes I just don't know what's going to hang people up. So it really helps if you speak up. Now, if you don't have specific questions, what I'll probably do is look at the homework beforehand, see which questions I think might be tricky or might be helpful to go over, and then I'll say, okay, let's work together on this problem. And then we'll spend time in class discussing it, talking about it, and working it. I'm not going to give you the answer, okay? I'm not going to give you the answer, but I hope to set it up so that along the way you can figure it out for yourself. And then once we start working the questions together, then you should know a little bit better what's going on, okay? If you have any other questions, that's what I want to do with our face-to-face course meetings for this course. If you have any other questions for me, please don't hesitate to either drop by my office hours. It does get kind of lonely these days with COVID, so even if you just want to drop by my office hours to introduce yourself and say hi, that would be great. I mean, talking to real people is such a treat these days. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. Drop by my office hours in the virtual Zoom room. Or if you want to shoot me an email, I'm always happy to do that. I usually respond within 1 business day. Be aware that if we have a homework that's due the next day and you send me an email at 8 p.m. or so at night, I might not get to it. So it's always a good idea to start your homework earlier than the day before it's due. Okay? And then if you have questions or you run into problems, then I have a chance to give you a hand. Okay? All right, that's everything that I wanted to say. So, like I said, I'm going to post a quiz about this, and it'll allow you to make up that first day if you weren't there. And I'll see you around.